you will ask some questions, no?
Yeah, Javeed Alam, you were saying something too.
No, I mean, since you raised Ashish Nandi and Javeed Alam, I don't think had any enemies. I mean, Javed was friends with everybody, and Javed had this great quality of looking for positive things. So he will, when you talk to him about Ashish Nandi and you tell him, look, I mean, this is wrong and that is wrong. So he'll find something which is positive, which is acceptable, and that is true. Javed did this to everybody. I mean, he would look in you the positive qualities, and that is what he'll build on. So Javed never became enemies with anyone. I don't think anybody I know who will say that, look, I mean, I am opposed to Javed. But so that is something. But Javed's, the basic, I don't remember when did Javed actually get married.
1970s.
1970. And Javed's marriage was a huge thing in Delhi. You know that, no? You see, he was working in Salwan College, and there were posters all over the city, that how a Muslim has married a Hindu in 1970, and it is how communal, and the situation was communally charged. And the story is, I mean, that finally Indira Gandhi called them both and said, you are mutually agreed, and you have to marry. But he was thrown out of Salwan College. So Javed's role in terms of Javed was here, School of International Studies, which was in Sapru House, just next door. So he was here. That school was there. That is before JNU. I think before JNU was set up. Yeah, before JNU was set up. So he was here, and then he went to Himachal. He went to Himachal after Salwan College. He was thrown out. Then he went to Himachal, and his role in Himachal is in building the left movement in Himachal is phenomenal. I mean, there is no way you would have had such a strong left movement in Himachal if Javed had not played that role. I mean, I'm not saying history may take its course and everything may happen, but Javed had a huge role in it. He nurtured all those boys, Mohar Singh and Singha, and absolutely from teaching to looking after them. I don't know, you must have experienced that also. Javed treated his students as his own family. I mean, he was so Javed, that is one quality in Javed which is very rare now. The other thing is Javed was, he could do anything for friends. I mean, I remember that, my wife went to Simla, and Javed put them with our son, young son. He was 5, 7, 8 years old. This is when, this must be also, I think, in the mid-70s or something, yeah, mid-70s. And no, 79, 79. So it is 80s, mid-80s, she went there. Javed, there is a UGC hostel in Simla. Javed didn't have a house at that stage, and Javed put them up in a UGC guest house, and there was water shortage, and Javed actually used to carry buckets of water from down to the room for my wife and my child. So Javed has been a great friend. I mean, and he has done it to everybody. I think he used to look after people. He will do what, and he never had any air. I mean, he was, when he was chairman ICSSR, he would come and he would, come to the house and so on. And he will, I mean, you never felt that here is a chairman of ICSSR or something big and something. So, Javed is a simple man at heart, good man at heart, and progressive and left man at heart. There is no mean bone in Javed. No mean bone in Javed. There is no mean bone in Javed.
So there was you both are from left. Your affiliation with Javeed, could you begin with that actually?
See, I don't now remember. I mean, there are some friendships which become so part of your life that you don't remember their origin, I don't remember when I met Javed first. But all I know is that I am with CPIM, Javed was with CPIM, and we had, common friends like Kumaresh Chakravarti and so on. I think maybe through Kumaresh or somebody. But, once we met, after that there was no looking back. I mean, there was no looking back. And I remember when Aniket got admission in Ramjas College and couldn't get hostel. So, so Javed mentioned it to me and said, look, I mean, Aniket has no hostel, so what do we do? I said, you just tell him to come and stay with us. So Aniket stayed with us. I mean, when he was in Ramjas College, I think 1.5 years or whatever, till he could find an accommodation and so on. So Javed that way was absolutely, So I don't remember when I met Javed first, but Javed stayed with the left. There are a large number of people who start drifting away from the left once they become professors or they're looking for jobs and they're looking for positions in the government. Javed, no. He got positions, he got them, but I don't think he ever said, even when he was chairman ICSSR, that I have nothing to do with CPIM or I have changed my mind about CPIM. Never. And I don't think you'll find anybody where Javed would have said that, the story is that there are people who went to the minister and told the minister that, look, he's a CPIM man, why are you giving him a second term? So Javed didn't go to the minister saying, no, I have nothing to do with CPIM. So Javed remained with CPIM and, always took interest in, I have not met him for a long time. The last time I rang him up, he was with Aniket, but I couldn't speak to him. But when I spoke to him and I asked him, Javed, how are you and so on, so he said, I'm fine. So you can't make out, that was at that stage. So I said, when are you coming to Delhi? Why don't you come and see us? So he said, where will I go? If I come to Delhi, I'll see you. What else will I do? If I come to Delhi, I'll see you. So he used to, when he was chairman ICSSR, the number of times he used to come, drive into this office, and and his driver, Dipender was his driver's name, and he would come here, have lunch and go back. And you ask the driver, who was with him for 3 years that he was chairman, he says, I found no boss who is like this, So, he was a simple man, great man.
Sir, so that both of you, when you both acquainted itself, both of you were members of CPIM.
Yeah.
Because I was told that your influence on him.
No. That is exaggerated. No. We influence each other. Everybody influences each other.
So
you see, I went first. I think 70. Immediately after emergency was lifted, 78. I went to Shimla for a party school. And this Javed had collected all these young boys, including
enormous job in
Himachal, absolutely barren land for left. He collected these boys and he said, let's have a party school. These boys are coming. So I went and I stayed with him. He organized, and he had the capacity to build relationships all over. So he had fixed some visiting fellows, in Shimla they give visiting fellows either quarters or rooms or hostel or something. So this fellow, he said, he took his room for a, and we used to have study circles in Simla in 78, I remember. So, and Javeed that way was, yeah. I mean, to the extent that I might have influenced him, he has also influenced me. So there is no big deal in saying that, you know, I influenced him or anything. No.
So the Shimla, so that you started party cadre. Then what happened? Because right now, I think last election CPIM had a.
They won mayor and deputy mayor both in Simla.
So that,
The party has grown in Simla. Javeed moved out. Then Javeed came to CSDS, and you know that. I mean, he might have kept in touch, but you know, Javeed moved out. But Simla party has stayed. I mean, you know, there may be ups and downs. I mean, you may win election, you may lose it, but the party has stayed. I mean, there is a very substantial, strong CPIM in Himachal, and Javeed's role in the formation of that unit can't be undermined. Can't be undermined.
So then, could you talk about this Jansang during his marriage period? During his marriage, Jansang went around and put up posters. And
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing we are not getting. Javeed was not a big person when he was in Delhi. He was just teaching in Ramla College.
Salwan College.
So I'm just wondering why Javeed's news became a big one. Many people would have
No, anything. This is the politics of Jansang. I mean, you know, anything. Before that, there was this minister who was in Congress, Old Delhi. He married. He had to go underground. I mean, you know. So, I mean, this was the typical Jansang thing. It is not. Javeed was a university teacher. Jayanti was in SIS with they were both together in School of International Studies, and they were looking for an opportunity to communalize the situation. So it is nothing to do with big or small.
Okay.
You know, anything they, and you know, you might think small now, but he is a university professor. I mean, what in popular, he is a university lecturer, but people say university professor, no? So I mean, it's not a small thing and imagine in the 70s, you know, they're not, now you have 6,000 university teachers, then you had 500 or 700 university teachers. So, you know, there is a certain amount of prestige that a university teacher had, and Javeed was a part of that thing, and they would have done it to anybody. They would have done it to anybody.
Did they first go and threaten Javeed or just put up notices everywhere?
No, they put up posters, then you have to, you know, in these situations you have to go underground and so on, threaten, then finally they threw him out of the job.
He went underground?
Underground in the sense that you don't
keeping
stay
quiet
in public eye and so on. Yeah.
So that they suspended him from the job?
I think they removed him from the job.
But reinstate, there was a big protest after that.
Yeah, huge protest. Could you
explain that part?
You see, that part, the actual protest of teachers will be another person, if you can get hold of him, but he is not in Delhi at the moment, was Kumaresh Chakravarti. He was with us, but he is quite unwell. Kumaresh Chakravarti, he was in Duta. He played a huge role in getting that.
So he took up the issue also.
Huge thing.
So then the Salwan College was also derecognized later?
Yeah, it's closed down.
Why is that?
Salwan College was run by furniture fellow. Salwan is a furniture company. They used to make furniture. You have extra money, you have black money, you have all kinds of things. You start some college. Then finally, you know, you lose interest.
Okay.
If you can't make money by running a college, you see, there is no philanthropy in this. They want either social prestige, that you know we are running a college, we are educationists, we are in, or you do this. So that is why they started it. soon, I mean, I'm sure they must have flouted all UGC rules, they must have flouted not paid salaries. So then finally they had to close down.
So then at that point of time actually, the CPM and the left movement, how strong it was, sir? Support
Very poor, very weak, very weak,
in Delhi.
very weak. Yeah, yeah. See, you should also realize that a large number of people who joined CPIM at the time that Javeed and me joined CPIM, CPIM was not in power.
Yeah, of course.
CPIM was not in power in any of the states.
For ideology.
Yes, CPIM was under attack. There was semi-fascist terror in Bengal, you know. Over 1,200 people were killed in Bengal. Even Jyoti Basu had to withdraw from an election, you know. So, this is the period in which CPIM was not on the upswing. A lot of people don't realize what kind of situation through which, you know, the left movement has come and grown. And Javeed is a part of that process of growing, you know.
And if there is some memorable moment of Javeed with you, there many, some very important moments, political level.
You see, I mean, I think when you are such a close friend, it's very difficult to say what is an important political movement, because, you know, I think Himachal is his best political thing. When I used to go and stay with him, and he will, you know, have all kinds of people coming to stay with him. I mean, there was I remember still a professor of philosophy who came. So Javeed called him over. I was staying with him, I think. So, you know, what I'm saying is that, and you have like night-long discussions, you argue and so on. So Javeed, that way, the other instance I tell you, this is Javeed's absolutely unassuming thing. Last time when he was chairman ICSSR, he came over for